Abarera Legos Rambori Banish Satan Demonio Dinaja 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 Abarera Legos Naja Abarera Legos Ramori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja 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 C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish
There we go. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Satan and Coffee, though I probably should more aptly name it at this particular junction Satan and fucking tea, because, yeah, it really isn't decent coffee out here. So I'm drinking tea, and though it is technically 11:22 in the morning Central Standard Time, which I am still operating off of, it is 5:22 in the afternoon here. It's already dark outside. So, kind of throwing the biological clock for a fucking loop. Spill that tea, right? You can see what dumped in the fucking ocean again. So, yeah. That's Dyra back there laying on the couch. Y'all can kind of see her chilling with Luca, the black cat, right above her head. So the conversation, like my tea, like my magic, black. Huh. Interesting. Hey, my dad, my biological father, had this stupid saying that he would say about coffee. He'd say, I like my coffee the way I like my men, big, black, and strong. And you just kind of sit there and raise an eyebrow like, huh, wait, what? What now? So, yeah, that's a thing. Anywho, so the conversation for this morning is that your grandfather would say that to you. Right? It kind of throws you off for a second. You're like, wait a minute. Wait, what? You like your coffee how now? So we're going to be talking about the Conjuration of Destruction. Now, we're not going to be talking about like the ritual outline that's in the Satanic Bible. I think we can save that for another day. What I do want to discuss, though, is I do want to discuss kind of like the ethical proposal of baneful magic, and where it is, where I think people are wrong in the idea of saying that one should never perform any type of baneful magic. Now, for those that know me, despite the fact that I consider myself left-hand path, I don't really participate or take part in baneful magic. I don't hex, I don't curse. I mean, I swear a lot. That could also be considered cursing, but, you know, that's a whole other conversation. But that's my choice. That's the choice they make. I don't tell anyone else that they're wrong for doing whatever it is that they believe that they feel that they need to do as far as magic is concerned. It's none of my fucking business what you do or don't do magically. I'm no one to judge you. And I think we as practitioners of the occult, in that sense, I think we're more Christian than Christians are, because we truly don't judge people for doing something different than how we would necessarily do it. Them, however, immediately start throwing judgment around because they feel they are entitled to do so, because so says their God. Anyway, the ethical approach on this, on baneful magic, people get so uptight and so afraid when we start talking about baneful magic, and we start talking about hexing, we start talking about cursing and things of that nature. Now, no one is really going to raise an eyebrow if somebody tries to mug you on the street and you manage to gain the upper hand and you beat the living shit out of the person that's trying to mug you. Nobody's going to raise an eyebrow to that. Somebody breaks into your home and you shoot them in the head, nobody's going to raise an eyebrow to that. Right? Some might judge, but most would understand the level and the reasons. Baneful magic, in my opinion, is very much the same thing. Sometimes one must defend oneself on every front. The jealous, spiteful God that teaches spite to the followers. Who knew, right? Exactly. Sometimes you need to be able to defend yourself on all fronts. Sometimes situations arise which causes one to kind of step out of the comfort zone of what one normally would do. And this is the situation that I am currently in is one where I would strike to say that baneful magic is a necessity. We look at baneful magic as not necessarily defensive, but being the aggressor, right? By partaking in baneful magic, we are being the aggressor. Defensive magic isn't only like bindings and stupid passive shit that most people will want you to do because, oh, well, you have to abide the law of fucking 3, apparently. Which, again, the whole concept of karma is completely misconstrued. Karma is not something that comes back to you. It's something that you create. You create your own karma. The energy that you send out is what comes back to you. It's not based on your action. It's based on your intention. Intention is what creates karma. Karma is not something that you do something good and something good happens to you in return. You do something bad happens to you in return. That's not how karma works. Karma functions in the sense that if you do something bad and you feel guilty for said thing, the energy of your guilt will cause something to happen to you. You are inviting through indirect intention for something bad to happen to you because of your guilt. Your guilt will cause something negative to happen to you. You create your own karma. If you do something bad and you don't give a shit, and you enjoy it, you have fun with it, karma doesn't give a fuck. If you're okay with the bad things that you're doing, then guess what? You're going to be okay. For as fucked up as that is, for as bad as that sounds, it's the truth. We like to think that there's some ethereal energy working around shit that's going to kick somebody in the ass for being an asshole. I think history has proven time and time again that that's just simply not the case. Right? Like, for as much as I hate to bring this topic up, but if we think about World War II, and we think of the atrocities of the Nazi Party in Nazi Germany, what happened to Germany, what happened to Hitler, that wasn't karma. That was a response. That was a response to what was happening. if nobody responded, Hitler would have kept going and probably would have achieved almost everything that he probably wanted to achieve. Karma does not function in the way that people think it does. People think that karma is this magical energy that floats around the universe, kicking people in the ass for doing stupid, fucked up shit. And it doesn't work that way. I really hate to break it to you, but it does not work that way. It has never worked that way. It will never work that way. You create your own karma. You do something good. You feel good about that good thing that you did. You are inviting, through the energy that you feel, for more good things to happen to you. That's not karma. That's just energetic direction. You do something bad, regardless if it's a means to an end. And what happens? Well, you feel guilty. And then that guilt creates that cycle. So all of this is relevant to baneful magic and the conjuration of destruction, because the idea and the concept here is, if you are operating in a space where you're not going to feel guilty for what it is that you are doing, there is no consequence to what it is that you are doing. You will not suffer consequence for defending yourself. And if you know that you're in the right, you know that you're defending yourself, creating defense, then your karma will be clean. In that energy, in that intention, your karma will be clean. Right? And so because karma doesn't function the way that many people think that karma functions, in the sense that there's some karmic spirit floating around that's going to get justice for you, it is necessary many times for us to appropriately and accurately respond to certain threats and certain things that are going on. So conjuring destruction is based on intention. Taking the hatred, vitriol, and all that negative energy that you have towards a person or thing, and pouring it all in every format that you can into an active intention, active energy, to cause pain, suffering, and destruction to the target. Conjuring destruction is part of the left-hand path. The philosophy, the basis around, or one of the philosophies, and one of the bases of left-hand path, is to be the creator and the destroyer, both simultaneously at the same time, to be able to create and to be able to destroy. Now, this topic is important, and this topic is relevant due to some work that I'm doing around the situation that I'm dealing with my son. So a lot of you have seen that. I've talked about it probably like the last couple of days, last couple of shows that I've done. For those of you that want detail on what is going on, what is happening, I will be recording a members-only video, probably either today or in the coming days, and I will be uploading it to the members-only part of my channel. So if you're a member, you'll be able to catch that. You'll be able to catch that video. You'll be able to get the details on what's going on and what has been happening, right? And why I'm going the direction that I'm going. Now, I have never been I've never been in a situation where I've not had any contact with my son at all. And not having any contact with my son at all is taking its toll on my mind. It's taking its toll on my spirit. It's taking its toll on every aspect of who I am. I'm not able to fully enjoy or embrace the situation that I'm in and to take the steps that I feel that I need to be taking, because my mind is stuck and worried about what's happening on that end of things. Because I don't know what is happening, I'm kind of losing my ability to kind of think clearly. And one of the things that I started the other day, apart from trying to create some type of semblance of balance, call upon balance, is I've kind of begun kind of working in the direction of conjuring destruction. It is understanding one's own power and one's own ability, and taking that darkness that we so love to talk about in the left-hand path. We so love to talk about in these shows and in these episodes. We love to talk about embracing the darkness and making your demons work for you, and how wonderful and lovely those things are. So this is where that comes to a full head. This is where things of that nature, embracing those parts of yourself, come full circle. I have always been one that has fully believed that being harmless is a bad thing. As a human being, forget about man, woman, or whatever you identify as, whatever that is irrelevant. Being harmless is a bad thing. A peaceful person is a peaceful person because they choose peace, not because they don't have another option. Not having another option makes you weak. Makes you defenseless. It makes you incapable. I think the part of being on the left-hand path is to understand the monster that lives inside of you. And when we look at, to a certain degree, this is metaphorical. This is not written in any text anywhere. This isn't something that can be looked up or proven, because it's not something that I think anyone's ever really talked about. But I think if you, in Wicca, in generalized kitchen witchery and the right-hand path version of the occult, we have the triple aspect of the goddess, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And I sometimes I like to afford and look at Satan in very, very much the same light. We have kind of Samael, Lucifer, and Satan, right? Which are all words that have been used to describe at one point the same entity. I look at the concept and the idea of Samael, Lucifer, and Satan in this context, very much in the same way, as a process, as a growth process, as an understanding of the monster that lives and breathes inside of you, Satan being that monster. Right? Samael is kind of the representation of kind of like blind innocence. Lucifer's the understanding, kind of like the arc of understanding the world around them. And then Satan is kind of understanding when that world fails you and you need to stand on your own two fucking feet. Is how I would metaphorically use the representations of Samael, Lucifer, and Satan to describe what it is that I am talking about. It's very much a maiden, mother, and crone kind of situation. It's understanding. People talk about the villain arc, right? Like, or a villain origin story, kind of romanticizing the idea of the villain. And there is a certain level of romanticization that exists with the villain, right? The idea of doing what one wants without consequence, or heed to consequence, rather. Not that there isn't consequence, but without giving a shit about the consequence that one is producing for oneself through one's own actions, is essentially the idea of the villain. The villain, the adversary, the one that stands against. Why? Right? So this is one question that's never really kind of asked, is why? Why the adversary? Why are we adversarial? Why? Not necessarily to what. There's a million different things that you can be adversarial to, right? An adversary just means to be against something, right? So what you're against, that's your own fucking business. The biggest question is why? Why stand against something? What are we still, whatever it is that we're standing against, why are we standing against it? Are we standing against it because it's oppressive? Are we standing against it because it's a threat? Are we standing against it because we just don't fucking like the way that it looks? Why are we being adversarial? Why are we being the villain? We are the villain in many stories. You are a different person coming out of the mouth of everyone that you've met. Who you are as an individual is a story told a million different ways by a million different people. And in many of those stories, you are the adversary. You are the villain. You're the bad guy. You're the evil one. You caused pain. What is it that makes one openly accept that position of villain? That position of being adversarial. Welcome, evildoer. Good to see you. So what causes that? I think that that's a personal question for each and every one of us to ask ourselves when we make the decision to open up and say, in this situation, in this circumstance, in this context, I am to be the villain. Not have someone make me be the villain, but to be the villain. Even you can see King Solomon, Herman, king of Tyr, and Hiram, Aviv, as a similar trinity. I can see the same correlation to Lucifer, Samael, and Satan. They come together to further a unified goal. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Might be a bit obscure to most here. So, when we choose to be adversarial, when we choose to stand against what is happening, and what is happening in my case, what we're talking about here is my son being kept from me. This Christmas is probably going to be the first Christmas that I'm not even going to be able to talk to my son. I have not been away in the 10 years that boy has been alive. I have not missed a birthday, and I have not missed a Christmas. Ever. I have not been not present in some way, shape, or form. 99% of the time physically present for Christmas and his birthday. This is probably going to be the first Christmas where I'm going to not be physically present or even verbally present in his life on this planet. And that sparked something in my head. That there were many promises made. There were many things that were said that have been kind of thrown to the wayside. And again, for those that want like graven detail on what is going on, I will make a members only video for you guys to watch so you guys know what's going on. But I will not be putting that publicly. There are legal ramifications to me saying certain things, and there's a lawyer involved, and so there's a lot going on in this situation. Yeah, evil. Well, I mean, history likes to repeat itself, doesn't it? And not even with the same people. The faces and the names are different. The situations are the same. So, the conjuring of destruction is needing to be able to fully embody the adversary. The conjuring of destruction, the conjuration of destruction, requires you to openly accept a villain role. Not that you are the villain or that you are doing wrong. This is semantics. It is to accept and understand that by what it is that you are doing, many are going to look at you as the villain. Many are going to look at you as the evil that exists, the bane in which they suffer from. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with accepting the role that the target that you are trying to reach, that side of things, you will be the villain. You will be the bad guy. The conjuration of destruction requires it. You must embody the adversary. Meaning that you must, in every fiber of who and what you are, stand wholeheartedly against, in every way, shape, or form, that thing that you are performing magic against. Prefer the term anti-hero? You know, yeah. I mean, but then again, we're the anti-hero in our story, right? In our minds, in the way that we look at ourselves. I mean, we're defending ourselves. We are using magic to release ourselves, to allow ourselves to be free. So again, in our own minds, yeah. You know, anti-hero, I guess, fits the bill a lot better, and it feels a lot more comfortable, but it's not about feeling comfortable with what's going on and what you're about to do. Because make no mistake about it, we like to talk about magic in very fantastical ways, right? We like to talk about the theory and the philosophy and the history and the possibilities of what could or may have been possible, what may be possible again in the future. The stories that have been written down for centuries about witches and wizards and warlocks and demons, angels and gods. We like to fantasize about the possibilities of physical manifestation. But make no mistake, magic has real world consequences. It always has had real world consequences, and it always will have real world consequences. And when you take the path of working in baneful magic, the consequences that we're referring to are not the consequences necessarily to oneself, because again, we set the stage for that at the beginning of this show, right? At the beginning of today's mass is talking about what karma is and what karma isn't. embodying yourself as the adversary, embodying yourself as the villain, as the anti-hero, as whatever label it is that you think that you need to accept yourself as, of how you are going to be viewed. Accepting yourself as the villain is what is going to provide and relinquish the possible regression of karmic energy. Understand that when you send this energy out, when you perform baneful magic, sometimes because of the amount of hate and vitriol and violence that lives inside of you, that comes out simultaneously as this giant explosion, as you unleash that beast that exists inside of you, as you allow yourself to come full circle from being Samael to Satan, that beast, the Leviathan, then sometimes the magic that you perform is more powerful than one may have originally thought. And the consequence of that much higher than what you had originally thought. You remember, you do not control the universe. You do not control how the energy plants itself. You're merely sending a message out in a bottle. How the universe chooses to respond to that message is a bit out of your hands. So, that is going to be it for today's Mass. We're going to call it right there. I think I've said everything that I can say on this. It's definitely worth something diving into this a little bit later. I think Dyra and I will actually probably make an episode about adversary of my adversary regarding this topic. I'm sure she has a lot that she would like to add to this topic. We've talked about this quite a bit in the past, so it'd be interesting to get her thoughts. Can I make one about toxic shame? Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Any video ideas that you guys have, like, throw them in the comment section of the video. Like, for example, like this video, if this video sparks an idea that you would like us to talk about, or like me to talk about, throw it in the comment section and we'll go from there. Right. Member only videos are going to be coming up more frequently with everything that I've got going on. Like I said, it's this type of video, this type of platform here. This is you know, a very public platform. So there's certain things that can't be said publicly due to potential legal ramifications. But the point, don't be afraid of your own energy. Don't be afraid of baneful magic, and don't be afraid of karma. If you believe that you need to perform baneful magic, then perform baneful magic. Just own it. Own what it is that you're doing. Encompass yourself in what it is that you're doing. Be whole with what it is that you are doing. I think with any form of magic, you need to put a lot of who you are into it. When it comes to baneful magic, you need to put all of you into it. That's the only way that it's going to work. Everything that is inside of you, you need to put into it. And not leave a shred of any of it out. And don't doubt your intentions. The doubt, if you feel doubt about what it is that you're doing, that doubt will cause you to fail. Because doubt is on the spectrum of fear. And fear is the forerunner of failure. That being said, thank you everyone for being here. You guys are fucking amazing. As always, tell thy fucking self. I'll see you in the next one. Peace the fuck out.